We're taught that the internet is a tool, but for some, it's a trap. From hacked TV signals that leave viewers paralyzed to YouTube channels that shouldn't exist, the digital world has its own set of ghosts. Tonight, we're looking at 3 internet mysteries that prove some links are better left unclicked. If you enjoy videos like these and want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
Imagine it's 11:15 p.m. on a Tuesday in 2006. You're in a small town in Niobrara County, Wyoming. The local news is winding down, the familiar hum of the television providing the only light in your living room, when suddenly, the screen snarls into static. This wasn't a typical signal loss. The colorful bars of a technical difficulty screen appeared, but they were wrong, jagged, vibrating, and pulsing with a rhythmic throb you didn't just hear, you felt in your chest. Then came the visuals. Disembodied, pixelated heads with hollow eyes and skin the color of old parchment began to drift across the screen. They weren't human, but they weren't quite monsters either. They were uncanny, shifting from blank dead stares to wide, toothless grins that seemed to stretch further than physically possible. Between these faces, cryptic text crawled across the screen in a font that looked like it belonged on a 1980s computer terminal. "You are next. Why do you hate? We stand at the door." For 6 agonizing minutes, this hijacked the airwaves. No one called the station. No one turned off their TVs. It was as if the broadcast had a hypnotic, paralyzing hold on anyone caught in its glow. When the local news finally returned, the anchor acted as if nothing had happened, continuing with a weather report as if the previous 6 minutes of nightmare fuel had never existed. But the damage was already done. In the hours following the intrusion, local hospitals in Niobrara County reportedly saw a spike in emergency room visits. The symptoms were identical: extreme nausea, inexplicable vivid hallucinations, and a sense of crushing existential dread. Paranormal researchers who later studied the recordings claimed the hacker hadn't just sent a video, they had broadcast infrasound frequencies. These are sounds just below the range of human hearing that are known to trigger the fear response in the brain, creating a physical sensation of being watched or hunted by something malevolent. The mystery only deepened when the authorities stepped in. The FBI investigated, and the FCC traced the signal, but they found nothing. No hijacked transmitter, no physical evidence of a breach at the station, and no trace of the source. Some skeptics say it was an elaborate, high-tech prank by a disgruntled engineer with a dark sense of humor. Others, however, believe it was a localized government experiment in mass psychological warfare, a test to see how easily a simple frequency could break the human mind. To this day, if you search the deep corners of the web, you can find clips of the footage. But a word of caution to the curious: if you watch it, wear headphones and listen to the low, underlying hum. Pay close attention to the way the faces rotate. There are those who swear that the longer you watch, the more the features of those pixelated heads begin to shift, slowly taking on the appearance of people you know in real life. Whether it's a digital ghost or a trick of the mind, the Wyoming Incident remains a chilling reminder that on the internet, some signals are never truly lost. In the mid-2000s, the internet felt like a vast, lawless frontier, a digital Wild West where hidden files and forgotten links could lead you anywhere. But among the early adopters of YouTube, a whisper began to circulate about a channel that didn't just contain disturbing content, but was itself a living, breathing virus. This is the legend of username 666. The story originated on deep web Japanese forums, describing a user account that had been purged from the system for violating every rule of human decency. If you search for the handle today, you'll be met with a standard "This account has been suspended" message. For most, that is where the trail ends. But according to those who have gone deeper, the suspension is just a digital veil designed to protect the faint of heart. The legend claims that to access the true channel, you must be alone, in the dead of night. You navigate to the URL and begin to refresh the page. At first, nothing happens, but as you continue, dozens, then hundreds of times, the interface begins to degrade. It starts with the refresh button flickering, then the text on the page begins to scramble into a senseless, demonic script. By the time you reach the 666th refresh, the browser's clean white aesthetic is replaced by a deep, bruised crimson, and the YouTube logo is replaced by a distorted, unreadable symbol. The videos that appear on this rotten version of the site are unlike anything uploaded by a human hand. They have no titles, no view counts, and no descriptions. One video reportedly shows a woman submerged in a thick red liquid, her eyes wide with a silent, frozen scream. Another consists of nothing but a grainy, low-angle shot of a dark hallway where a shadow moves with a jerky, unnatural gait that defies the laws of physics. The audio isn't music. It's a rhythmic, organic thumping that sounds like a massive heart beating inside your own speakers. But the true horror of username 666 is the loss of agency. Users who claimed to have successfully breached the site reported that their computers ceased to be under their control. The mouse would move on its own, clicking through increasingly more violent and abstract videos. The back button would vanish from the browser. Clicking the X to close the window did nothing but trigger a high-pitched digital shriek from the speakers. One famous report claims a user tried to pull the power cord from the wall in a panic, only for the monitor to remain illuminated. The blood-red channel stayed frozen on the screen, the distorted faces of the videos staring back at the user through the glass, as if they were trying to find a way out of the machine and into the room. Whether this was a masterpiece of early internet performance art created by the Japanese filmmaker Nanao, or something far more malevolent hidden in the site's original source code, remains a subject of debate. But the story of 6666 serves as a chilling reminder. On the internet, deleted is a relative term. Some things are scrubbed from the surface specifically because they are too dangerous to be seen, waiting just one refresh away from dragging you into the rot. The internet is full of ghost stories, but few feel as invasive or as heartbreaking as the legend of "my dead girlfriend keeps messaging me." This story didn't start on a hidden forum or a cursed website. It started on Facebook, proving that the platforms we use to stay connected can also be the ones that refuse to let us go. In 2014, a user named Nathan posted a series of screenshots that sent shockwaves through the digital community. His girlfriend, Emily, had passed away in a tragic car accident months prior. Her account had been memorialized, turned into a digital headstone where friends could leave flowers and memories. But then the messages started coming. At first, Nathan assumed it was a cruel prank, a hacker or a friend with Emily's password playing a sick joke. The messages were simple, one-word echoes of their past conversations, hello or walk. But as the days turned into weeks, the messages became more specific and infinitely more terrifying. The account began tagging itself in Nathan's personal photos taken after Emily had died. In the images, the tag would appear in the empty spaces behind Nathan, in the dark corners of his room, or in the reflection of windows where no one was standing. The horror escalated when the messages stopped being words and started being fragments of their old life. The account began sending Nathan his own words back to him, private sentences he had said to her in person years ago that had never been typed into a keyboard. There was no digital record of these words, yet here they were, appearing in a chat box from a woman who had been buried for a year. The true breaking point came when Nathan received a photo through the chat. It was a picture of his own front door, taken from the outside in the dead of night. The caption was a single word, cold. Skeptics argue that this was a masterfully crafted creepypasta or a viral marketing stunt, but for those who followed the thread in real time, the dread was palpable. It tapped into a very modern fear, the digital ghost. We leave so much of ourselves online, our voices, our faces, our secrets, that we've created a version of ourselves that can never truly die. The story of Nathan and Emily serves as a haunting reminder that in the age of social media, rest in peace is no longer a guarantee.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content and stories.